So for lesson 11.2, the main topic is the use of the preposition por and the preposition para. Now in English, the translation, there's several different prepositions that they translate to for, by, through, by means of. So it really depends on the context in which you use them, which is the most important part of por and para. Because in most cases, either having por or para in a sentence can be grammatically correct, but using one over the other changes the meaning of the sentence. So it's very important to know what they mean in each context. Interesting note, just a little fun fact here. In medieval Spanish, they had a word pora, P-O-R-A, which was a combination of both por and para, so it could be used in all the situations. Now, as the language evolved, they wanted to become more specific with the information that they were trying to convey, so it separated into por and para. But I agree that it would be a lot easier if we still had pora. So here you can see a list of the uses in which you would use por here. So one, when you're talking about movement, a motion, or in a general location. So when you're going through something, by something, you would use por. So pasamos por el parque y por el río. Pass by the park and along the river or by the river. When you're talking about the duration of an action, so estuve en la Patagonia por un mes. I was in the Patagonia for a month. You would use por. When you have the reason or motive for an action, because of, on account of, on behalf of, you would use por. Lo hizo por su familia. She did it for her family or on behalf of her family. The object of a search, vengo por ti a las 8. I'm coming for you at 8. That for is por. Manuel fue por su cámara digital. Manuel went in search of his digital camera or for his digital camera. That would be por. Means by which something is done. This can be either done or traveled through. So ellos viajan por la autopista. They travel on the highway or by the highway. Or viajan en avión. They travel by plane. Viajan por auto. They travel by car and so forth. Exchange or substitution. So when you're exchanging one thing for another. Te di dinero por el reproductor de MP3. Gave him money for the MP3 player. And a unit of measures is per by. So José manejaba a 120 kilómetros por hora. So 120 kilometers per hour. So para, here you can see main uses of para. So when you're talking about movement in the destination sense, so salimos para Córdoba el sábado, we're going to Córdoba on Saturday. So it's more of a future plan where you're going to. You haven't arrived there, you haven't passed by it yet. You'd use para. A time, a deadline, or a specific time in the future, use para. So you'll do something by this date or for this date. Él va a arreglar el carro para el viernes. He'll fix the car by Friday. An action when you have a purpose or goal to do something in order to. Juan estudia para ser mecánico. Juan is studying to be a mechanic. You would use para in this context. O estudio para ser doctor, estudio para ser médico, so forth. When you have the purpose of something, what it's used for, you would use para. Es una llanta para el carro. It's a tire for the car. That for, you'd use para. The recipient of something. So, compré una impresora para mi hijo. I bought this for my son. When you're comparing, or you're talking about an opinion, you'd use para. So, para un joven es demasiado serio. For a young person, it's too serious, or he's too serious. Para mí, esa lección no es difícil. For me, this lesson isn't difficult. So that for in both of these cases is para in Spanish. And when you're working for someone, in the employment of them, you would use para. So trabajo para Baylor, or Sara trabaja para Telecom Argentina. So for the homework, the first assignment, what you have to do is rewrite the sentence, conjugating the verb and adding por or para depending on what makes more sense. So in the first one, Ricardo y Emilia traen, because it's ellos in the present tense, un pastel su prima. Well, if we look, the recipient of something, they're bringing this for her, so we would have para. Ricardo y Emilia traen un pastel para su prima. Los turistas llegar a las ruinas barco. So they arrive to the ruins in a boat or by means of the boat. Well, if we look at that by means by which something is done, we would use por. So los turistas llegaron a las ruinas por barco. And this one, all you have to do is select por o para depending on the context. So the first one, fui a la agencia de viajes porque quería ir, well, por o para, well, he wants to go to Mendoza. He hasn't gone by there yet. So that would be movement, the destination. So we'd have ir para Mendoza. And visitar a mi novia, well, we're talking about purpose and a goal to do something. So that would be para visitar a mi novia.